everyone, I'm Jackie with Jackie G Designs, and today I have a really simple coloring video I wanted to share with you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I've already stamped out my images. They are from the collection Mermaid Lagoon by Craftin' Desert Divas. I absolutely love this collection. It's adorable. So definitely check that out. I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description box if that's something that you're interested in. So as you can see, I am using Studio 71 alcohol markers. If you are a newbie to alcohol markers like I am, this is actually a really great set to get you started. They're very inexpensive and they work really well. So I decided to buy these markers because, well, I'm going to be honest, Copic markers are a little spendy, and I wasn't sure if it was something that I would like or would want to get into. Of course, that was not the case. I fell in love with coloring instantly and definitely want to transfer my collection over into full Copic markers. But for now, these work really well and are a great newbie set. So onto the coloring. As you can see, I started out with my lightest shade first and then went in with a medium shade to color any of the shadow pieces. I'm not going to give you guys the colors that I used only because they are Studio 71, but I know you can find an equivalent with the Copic markers. So this is kind of what works best for me. I go in with my lightest shade first and I pretty much color the entire image. This is just, again, what works best for me. I find that having the paper wet is going to really help those colors blend a little bit more. So here you can see I'm going in with a darker shade. So this is going to actually be my medium shade that I'm going to use for this little fish. And so I'm putting in all of the shaded areas that I think, or I want to be a little bit darker. Next, I'm going to go in with my darkest shade, and this one happens to be a very light orange, and it really makes this fish pop. It really gives it that extra color that it brings the fish alive. I love it. So to blend it all out, I'm going to go back to my medium shade and then eventually back to my lightest shade for a full blend. So you definitely want to use a Copic friendly or alcohol marker friendly ink, and I ended up using Memento, and it worked really great. I am using Neenah white cardstock, I believe 110 pounds. That's just kind of what I prefer. So before you could see that I was putting in some little dot details on the fish, I wanted to give her some scales along with my mermaid's fins. I just think that it gives it that extra little interest to the image. So here you can see I'm going in and coloring her headband. Because these pieces are so small, I only wanted to use 2 markers. I probably could have gotten away with just using 1, but I figured I would just go ahead and give it a try. Here you can see I am starting to color her hair, and of course she's a mermaid, she's magical, so she needed some really cute and funky hair. So I went ahead and chose a very light purple as my lightest shade. So I'm going to go ahead and color the entire image. Again, I want that paper to be wet. I feel like I get a much better blend when my entire paper is wet with my base color. So once all of that is colored, I'm going to go in with my medium shade. And I'm pretty sure I only used 2 shades on her hair. So you can see that I'm going to feather out her hair. I feel like that's just going to kind of give it a more hair-like effect. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And then I'm going to outline the entire bottom of her hair to give her all those little highlights. So this is where I want all of my darker shaded parts. You can see I'm doing it to the next image as well. Don't worry about any harsh lines because we're going to go back through and we're going to blend those out. So I know it looks a little funky right now, but don't worry. I'm going to come back through right now with my lighter shade again, and I'm going to blend all of that out, and it does a really good job. So again, this is why I like to put my base shade down first to get that paper wet. So I'm going to go ahead and just color her all in, and I really love how these purples turned out. For this side, I did have a little bit, I had a spot that was a little darker than I liked, so I just went back in and shaded it, or blended it out just a little bit more to get where I wanted my color to be. Next, I'm going to go in with my skin color. Here you can see that I am using a Copic marker, and I really love that the Copics and the Studio 71 markers blend really nicely. So for my collection, I am slowly bringing in my Copic markers. Anything that, you know, does dry out, I'm just going to go ahead and replace it with a Copic. Again, Studio 71 is a fantastic beginner's marker, but I don't feel like they have a lot of ink in them and last as long as a Copic marker would. But that's okay. Again, it's a great starter kit. So here you can see I've taken my white gel pen and I'm just going to put little highlights on any of the spots that I feel like maybe the sun, I mean, I know that she's going to be underwater, but any of the lighter spots on her body and the little fish's body, just to give it, again, that extra little interest. And of course, I have to finish her off with her adorable little cheeks. So this is how I colored, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video.